spoiler warning for this review, duh. Oh, and spoiler alerts, drum roll please. Me and Logan don't die at the end. Ah, fuck, why'd I have to ruin that? Let's fucking go. Deadpool and Wolverine, directed by Sean Levy, and is the third and most likely a final installment of the Deadpool trilogy, as well as the 34th installment in the MCU and the 14th X-Men movie overall, and the only MCU movie we are receiving in 2024. So Deadpool and Wolverine tells the story taking place 2 years after the events of Deadpool 2, and Wade has at last achieved his dream life. Vanessa has come back to life. Hallelujah. Though he is pulled into the void, and his universe is threatened with Cassandra Nova, Charles Xavier's sister. So he needs to recruit and team up with not just any X-Men, but the X-Men, Logan himself, and a Logan from a different universe who calls himself the worst Wolverine after he let his entire family and universe down. So it's literally Wade and Logan's redemption story, as well as the beginning of a brand new friendship. Let's first address the elephant in the room. The MCU after Endgame has not had the greatest reputation, with lots of prophecies in Phase 4 and Phase 5, like Black Widow and Eternals, and even Multiverse of Madness and She-Hulk and the Marvels getting way too much hate, more hate than they deserve. But Deadpool and Wolverine was a movie that the fans have envisioned but never thought would ever exist. And now, thanks to the legends Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman working their asses off with Fox and Disney and Marvel to get this movie made, it exists. So thank you, Ryan and Hugh. We are forever in your debt. This truly is the Marvel Jesus and Marvel Messiah of the MCU, and plus you can see why this was the most anticipated movie of the year for a ton of people, as it's not only the Batman versus Superman and the Spider-Man No Way Home of X-Men, but it's the first MCU movie with an R rating. I mean, particularly from a Disney property. I mean, an R rating is like unheard of. Uh, I mean they, I mean to, to quote Wade, Marvel and X-Men have just been Mr. PG-13, with the exception of Logan. But this movie had well so much to live up to, and as I was one of the few people in the minority that was not so hot on Deadpool 2, though the first Deadpool for me still remains a classic. And Logan was the pitch perfect swan song to Hugh Jackman's Logan, aka Wolverine, and one of the most brutal and emotional comic book experiences of all time. So why would you bring him back? But Disney are gonna keep making him doing this until he's 90 and retires, aren't they now? So how do they return him without disrespecting his legacy? Well, multiverse, baby. That's right, different Wolverines and different Deadpools. And after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine yesterday in a cinema that was nearly full up, it this movie is so fucking good. Wow. I left the cinema speechless and mind blown. It was a lot to take in. I mean, this and the Marvels for me would be the best post Endgame MCU movie. This has worked its way up on my X-Men ranking as my second favorite X-Men installment, and this is, I guarantee, to make my top 10 best movies of 2024. If it doesn't, then the second half of 2024 will have had some of the greatest movies of all time. But do I think this is the best superhero movie ever? Well, no. That would still be Wonder Woman. And do I think this is the best X-Men movie ever? Also, no, that would still be Logan. But this is what I like to call the superior version of No Way Home. This is one of the most fan pleasing and crowd pleasing movies for the fans I have ever seen in my entire life, and it 100% respects the fans that it's catering to. So, uh, even though the critic score for this movie on Rotten Tomatoes is 81% and the audience score is 97%, that's okay, because this movie is not made for the critics. It's made purely for the passionate fans, and yeah, and things you never dreamed you would see in a Deadpool and X-Men movie are in this movie. It is a Deadpool and Wolverine love letter extravaganza, and the script is so smartly written and heartfelt, and so uh, and so violent, and nothing is sugar coated, and it's so uh, freaking funny. This this is the comedy masterpiece of 2024. It's comedy gold. I didn't think it could get much funnier than the first Deadpool, but it just is. You literally have in the opening scene Wade digging up Logan's grave from where Logan left off, and he demolishes Logan's skeleton when he takes out the guys sent to capture him, and he's stabbing the dudes in the balls and the arse. I mean, holy shit! Like Logan, this movie is a bloodbath, and uh, it breaks the record for the most cursing and bloody kills in a superhero flick. So don't bring younger fans of Deadpool and Wolverine to this movie whatsoever. Right on the back, it lets you know it's rated 15 for strong bloody violence, drug references, sex references, and very strong language. And Sean Levy, he's continuing to improve as a director with Stranger Things, and now this is his best movie, no competition. I wouldn't have minded if Sean Levy had directed the entire Deadpool trilogy after watching this movie. If he did, then Deadpool 2 wouldn't have sucked. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are clearly the big players of the cast here, considering they're the titular leads, and it's thanks to them we got this movie, and their chemistry is electrifying, as Deadpool and Wolverine are the two superheroes you always thought could meet and could share a story together, as they're both like, well, twin brothers. Neither of them can die. They're both practically invincible and unkillable. They both have ultra sharp weapons. Both have a posse mouth, and yeah, it's just a team up that turns out to be a match made in heaven, and an inseparable bond. And both learn something from one another by the end, and both redeem themselves. And Deadpool gets to be a hero and an avenger, and Logan gets to get that redemption for what he did in his universe. And I have to say, seeing Logan put on his classic Wolverine helmet, I mean, I geeked the heck out, uh, and also uh, seeing Vanessa back in this movie, and she's not in the movie much, but just to see her by Wade's side again. But Vanessa, we boy have we missed you. I mean, I still think the best of her is in the first Deadpool, but she's done better here after she was done dirty in Deadpool 2, and the uh, cameos in this movie, well, make the No Way Home cameos look pathetic in comparison. We not only have Johnny Storm, the Chris Evans Johnny Storm from the Tim Story Fantastic Four, but we also have Lara from Logan, and damn, Daphne Keane, she's in 7 years, she's aged into a cutie. The campfire scene of her talking with her father Logan. That's one of my favorite moments in the movie, and to see Jennifer Garner reprise her role as Elektra, that was my personal favorite cameo. Yeah, I was fanboying out seeing Elektra again. In not since 19 years, and to see Blade back and Gambit. I mean, Channing Tatum as Gambit's perfect casting, and now it looks likely we'll get an R-rated Blade movie. So uh, that's promising. And we even get a nice villain cameo from the Juggernaut, and his demise was freaking awesome when Laura she slices his legs off, and Cassandra Nova, Charles Xavier's sister, yeah, she is well just as immersed in the mind as her brother, and when she would place her hand inside the characters' heads, that was some well creepy Doctor Stranger shit right there, and yeah, you could you could really just feel how invincible she was, so much so that no character can physically overpower her once in this movie. And the void itself, well, one it's literally like X-Men Fox fan heaven, like the 20th Century Fox logo studio in the wasteland, and which has a Mad Max Fury Road vibe to it. And to see the suit of Ant-Man as Cassandra Nova's lair, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And the uh, and the other Deadpools from the Deadpool multiverse that come through the swirly sparkle Marvel circle, as Wade calls it. I mean, Lady Deadpool are stealing the show of them, and Dogpool, the cutie pie dog who Wade can't get enough of. Yeah, that's was like peak Deadpool scene right there, and the soundtrack is off the charts, incredible. By by far my favorite soundtrack of the Deadpool trilogy. Like we all know the signature song for this movie is Madonna's "Living on a Prayer." They play it not once but twice in the climax, and both times you get goosebumps galore. Though the use of Grease is the one that I want, absolutely takes the freaking cake as the best track in the soundtrack, when Wade and Logan are just giving one another hell in the car, uh, and the one that I want is playing on in the background. I mean, I never thought that song would be played to such a gory scene. I truly got chills in that scene, and they were multiplying. And the uh, and the action scenes, not just that badass opening scene, but to but each time Wade and Logan would fight in this movie, and they get to fight more times than Batman and Superman did in their movie. It was the shits, and it was so funny because neither of them could die, and uh, they were as invincible as Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. And no matter how much blood loss they have, it's like they could regenerate their blood back into their body. And the and the fights in the third act would have to be my favorite, from Wade and Logan's X-Men team of Elektra, Blade, and Gambit and Laura just taking out the henchmen in Cassandra Nova's lair, and then Wade and Logan in that mind-blowing camera shots of just Wade and Logan taking out all of the Deadpools to Madonna, and the other uh, uh, good version of Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds with longer hair and a beard. Yeah, and I mean his death was pretty unexpected. With Wade selfishly using him as a shield from the bullets. I'm like, Wade, you dick! You could have easily taken the bullets for him yourself, because, well, bullets can't take you out, but you don't know about him. But for all my fanboying out of this movie, it is not 100% flawless or without its nitpicks. My minuscule nitpicks with this movie is that yes, it does feel a little exposition heavy in places, especially Logan's backstory. I'm like, you could have shown that instead of just have him telling us, but still, it's uh, it's not a biggie, because the because 90% of the Wolverine content we get in this movie fucking rocks, and plus the TV guy villain, yeah, he was on the forgettable side. Yeah, he ain't no Thanos, but and plus his defeat, well, was with just him being arrested, was like, is that it? That's all the just dessert he's gonna guess after he was nearly responsible for the deaths of some of the most iconic X-Men and Marvel characters in history. Though Wade breaking his nose was a more satisfying comeuppance for sure. Uh, so uh, overall, Deadpool and Wolverine is bound to restore everybody's faith in the MCU. It's wouldn't be surprised if this smashes all the records and even surpasses Inside Out 2 as the biggest financial hit of 2024. If you are a Deadpool and Wolverine fan, then how is your butt not in the theatre right now watching it? Oh, and also the Happy Hogan cameo is easily the worst cameo in this movie, but stay for the credits, because there's a special behind the scenes reel of the previous X-Men movies, as with a bonus post-credit scene. I give Deadpool and Wolverine 5 stars out of 5. Best movie ever. So yeah, well, couldn't be a better introduction for X-Men into the MCU. I expect great things from you now, MCU X-Men Universe. Great things. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine? And what is your favourite of the Deadpool trilogy? And what is your favourite X-Men movie? Please comment and let me know. Please like this here and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I rank the X-Men franchise from 2000 to 2024. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.